I think there's going to be goals for both teams.
I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League. I think Liverpool are very difficult to play against.
I think there's only one winner in it.
You're watching Bet Safe. The boots are off with me, Dick and Dom. We're not in the bungalow, but we are going to have it out today about Liverpool versus Man City. It's at the Etihad this weekend. First of all, Paul, tell us why you think Man City are going to win this game.
I think there's only one winner in it, Pete. You look at recent form, I think Liverpool have only won 3 out of the last 12 games.
All right.
Man City unbeaten 11. I think Liverpool's defence, although people say City's defence are suspect, I just think the way Aguero, Sané, Raheem Sterling, backed up by David Silva, Yaya Toure, Kevin De Bruyne are playing at the minute way too much.
Dom, you know now I've brought an extra large table in, the security as well. You can't see it, but it's like Jeremy Kyle in here.
Well, I understand what Paul's saying, but let's look at the previous results and Liverpool's best performances. Last year, Etihad totally outplayed Man City. Totally, one of our best performances. This year, Anfield shut City out really completely. Great goal from Wijnaldum to win the game. And City had no answer. And I understand what Paul's saying. Liverpool have had the problems at the back, but I think against the better sides we haven't. And City I would put in that bracket just about. And I just feel as though on that big pitch, with the good players we've got, Firmino, Coutinho, Mane, I just think, as well as you're saying that we can't cope with your attacking players, I think City might struggle with our attacking players, especially Mane. I think he'll cause you plenty of problems on Sunday.
Well, I think there's going to be goals for both teams in it. But you know, you just mentioned Coutinho, Mane and Firmino. Surely you would have Sterling, Sané and Aguero ahead of the 3.
I don't know.
Should have. I mean,
I don't know.
They've got strikers. Have you got strikers?
I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one to call that. I mean, Sterling's played for Liverpool. Didn't really do that well. No, he did it right. He did it right, to be fair. He did it right. I must admit, he's much improved. But against Liverpool at Anfield, I thought James Milner got the better of him. And when James not an out-and-out left back.
I think James rattled him.
He did.
And it wouldn't surprise me if you see Sterling and Sané swap, and City put Sané up against James Milner. And I love James Milner to bits, but he ain't coping with that, mate.
I think both defences have had the problems with, they've played different personnel, and not had that consistency. And I think when Liverpool have had the better of City, I think the movement of the 3 I've mentioned, especially Firmino and Coutinho against City, I don't think City have dealt that well with players.
I think previously.
Let me finish. Players who've not, you're not talking about the centre forward, but sometimes I think City struggle when they're not playing up against someone. They like to play up against someone, whereas Firmino will come in and drop off, Coutinho will make runs through, and I think City have not been able to deal with that.
Previously, I think you've talked about the game last year at the Etihad. Well, I was there. Liverpool were fantastic, in the game earlier on, but we're a year and 6 months on from that now. You know, and I don't think Coutinho, round about the Christmas time when Liverpool started struggling, that was all about Mane coming back and Coutinho coming back fit. I think Coutinho struggled since he's came back in a bit. Mane, I think, is a fantastic.
Yeah, but I think in the big games, Coutinho's always played well, and I certainly feel he'll be up for this one at the weekend. And he scores all sorts of goals, and he likes to score against City. He does.
He's one of the few players, is he not, that would get in the City side?
I think so.
Where would you play him?
I'm on about the ilk and the quality.
Yeah.
That you could,
He might make the bench.
I think there's quite a few that get in the City team, to be honest.
Do you?
Across that line, I mean, you'd have to have Mane. Surely he would get into the Man City team. I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League. Most definitely.
Would you agree?
But what would you put Mane in ahead of Sané at the minute? I wouldn't.
I don't think there's much in that.
Maybe.
I don't think there's much in that.
Sané's been, honestly, the last 4 or 5 weeks, alongside David Silva, has been the best player in the Premier League. And the biggest thing for me, sorry, Pete, is we've spoke about Sterling, we've spoke about Sané, we've spoke about Aguero, is David Silva, and Yaya Toure has been exceptional. And you put Kevin De Bruyne in. It's the ammunition that City have got in behind the front 3. All joking apart, Liverpool's front 3 are fantastic, all good players, but I don't know behind them if they've got the quality to create chances for them, is what City
I don't know. I think if Lallana, for me, has been the catalyst. When he starts the games well for Liverpool and he's on the front foot and everyone else follows suit, I think Liverpool are very difficult to play against.
They're a different team altogether, with Jordan Henderson and with Lallana.
Well, they are.
But recently, since the turn of the year, they've not been doing that.
But I just think if you look back to the Arsenal game at Anfield.
Me and you could have played against Arsenal that day. Come on.
I might have been able to. Listen, I agree with what you're saying, but I just feel that Liverpool's record against City as well. They've got to think, sometimes as players, when you're playing against teams that have done well against you do think about that. Whether you say you don't, it does affect you sometimes. And I just think that Liverpool have had the edge on Man City for quite a number of years. Yeah. Maybe City have won the leagues and stuff, but on the head-to-heads, I think Liverpool have got a good record against Man City.
I just think it's a completely different City team that Liverpool were playing than what they did 4, 5, 6 months ago at Anfield. Fernandinho, for me, is the most underrated player, or one of the most in the Premier League. He puts out so many fires for that City team in front of the back four that allows the players we've spoken about to go and play. Defensively, City have been so much better. You know, Willy Caballero, his record since when he started, I don't think he's lost a Premier League game or lost a game. And they've been more sound defensively. You know, John Stones just took a lot of stick. I think he's got better. Pep's admitted he likes to play a left-sided centre half alongside him. Kolarov, I actually think, has been better at left-sided centre half than he has been at left back. And they look a lot more solid. And for me, it's having Fernandinho sitting in. But when he's not played, that's when City have really struggled.
See, when we talk about the two teams and obviously the two managers, I thought at Anfield, Klopp out sort of manoeuvred Guardiola a little bit with the way he played that day. And
the early goal helped.
The early goal did help, but I don't think City had any answer to that. And Liverpool have struggled themselves when they've gone down to early goals. But I just thought on that day, tactically, if you're talking about the two managers, I thought that day, and maybe Guardiola's record since that day has been a bit better than Jurgen's. I think that day that Jurgen had it over on Guardiola, and I think Guardiola might try and put that right at the Etihad. But Klopp's a clever guy, and I think he knows how to play against the better teams in the league, less than more than the kind of so-called lesser teams. I think he struggles a little bit sometimes at them tactically, but against the better teams, who he knows a little bit of knowledge more about, he seems to tactically get it right.
That's proven, though, isn't it? In your record.
It is.
Of the top 6.
Yeah, I think you're going to tell him himself he doesn't know that much about certain clubs in the Premier League. He's still learning, just like Guardiola is.
His record was very similar in Germany, though, with Dortmund, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He always done well against the teams in the.
That's why I think he'll beat you. So you've just proven the point. So you've just said it yourself.
I said previously.
You said proven. No, you said proven.
I said previously.
Previously proven.
Well, however, City's got a stronger squad, and they've got better attacking players.
But why aren't you competing for the Premier League with the squad that you've got? Does that not say more for
because I put you favourite at the start of the season.
I put them favourites myself. I just think Chelsea have been absolutely fantastic. That run Chelsea went on where, was it 13 games in the bounce that they actually won, not just unbeaten, took them away from everybody else. And I think it's been exceptional from them. If you look at beneath Chelsea, and it sounds stupid to say it, if you'd a mini league now going into the season, I mean, I think City's going to finish second. If you look at the next fixtures they've got coming up, obviously Liverpool, Arsenal, then Chelsea.
You got a tough running.
Huge games.
Yeah.
Already beaten Arsenal. Should have beaten Chelsea at the Etihad. 1-0 up. De Bruyne misses a goal that he would score 9 times out of 10 to put them 2-0 up, completely in control. Ended up losing the game. But even going back to that, City's home form. That's the only game they've lost at home this season. People talk about
Liverpool, won at Chelsea. How many teams won at Chelsea this year?
Chelsea
should have beat Spurs.
Should have beat Spurs.
Won at Arsenal.
They went back to a back.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We still beat them. No one else has.
But you keep talking about going back to these games. It's about now.
Yeah, but we just talk about this moment about the record that Liverpool have got against the top 6, which is the best.
Well, we can talk about the record.
This isn't Liverpool talking about past again, is it?
Do you know what I mean?
About history again. I'm not really the devil's advocate here.
All right.
If we're talking about the here and now, Liverpool are struggling at the minute. City are 11 games unbeaten.
I think Liverpool are struggling against certain teams. I don't think they're struggling against the bigger teams in the league.
It's obviously more than certain.
We only played Arsenal less than 2 weeks ago.
We've won 3 games in the last 11.
Yeah, but against the big teams we've won.
But 3 games in the last 11.
It's not good enough. I agree. It's not good enough. But when it comes down to a big game, Liverpool produce.
Both teams really have flattered to deceive from the start of the season, haven't they? I mean, but that's saying, I'm come back to your squad again. When you look at it, I mean, are they not the best squad in the Premier League? Yet you're not going to win the title.
Not yet. We're not. I think if you go back to the very start of the season when Pep came in, you know, people. I don't buy into this fact, and I'm the same with Klopp on this as well. That the Premier Leagues took them a bit by surprise. They are clever guys and they're intelligent guys, and they will know how difficult it is to win the Premier League. And from Pep's point of view, I still think there's 4 or 5 players away from the team that he would want, and it was impossible in the summer for him to just go in there and go, I'm going to get rid of 15, 16 players and go and sign 15, 16 players. I think he knows. And the ages of his signing, and Sané 19, Gabriel Jesus who's 19, John Stones 21, he's bought the players, yes for now, but looking forward to the future. And I don't think it's took him by surprise. I think he knew it was going to be difficult this year to come in and blow everybody away, because let's face it, Leicester gave everybody a kick up the backside last year. Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, and what they've done, and they all strengthened, and this year was always going to be the most difficult year to win it.
See, I think when Leicester won the league last year, as a Liverpool fan, I look at that as a missed opportunity again for Liverpool not to have won the league. You know, and maybe other clubs see it the same way, because they did surprise everyone.
Yeah, 5 clubs should have won it.
Exactly. Yeah, in my opinion, they didn't. But you know, I still think to myself, you know, if there's a manager looking in, usually if you've got a decent best defence, and you've got a great attacking play, you're going to win the league. I mean, Chelsea this year defensively have been brilliant, and they've still got the great, you know, players going forward. And I think that's the one thing I'm surprised that Liverpool and Man City haven't quite corrected is having that mix right. And I'm sure that's one thing that they've both learnt this season, that you have to be much stronger at the back to win this Premier League.
Klopp versus Guardiola. I mean, I know you think you've got the best manager. You probably think you've got the best manager. Why do you think?
Well, listen, Jurgen Klopp for Liverpool at the point was the best we could get. Let's be realistic about that. He was the best out there that Liverpool could get.
And a good get, wasn't he?
And he was a brilliant get. So, you know, winning trophies, Guardiola was you know, an amazing achievement for Man City to get him. And I think for Liverpool to get Klopp was the same. It was like we couldn't get anyone better than that. You know, with our record of recent years, he was the best we could get. And I think he needs the time. He's only been in there, it's not even 18 months. So, you know, it's hard to judge. I think players...
And yet he's still been, you know, on the back pages, Klopp,
exactly.
Will Klopp go?
But last year we could have won 2 trophies. We were unlucky, 2 finals we lost last year.
They can't win a final though, Klopp, can they?
Flying into the big table.
Well, well, listen, I just think if he'd won one of them trophies, I mean, Europa League or the Cup last year, it would have been a great start. We didn't get it, so put the pressure on him a little bit this year.
Those are the things you need to do, isn't it? That's what, you know, Liverpool managers in the past.
But I think that will come with Jurgen Klopp. I think it will come. I think he's methodical with his work. It just needs a little bit of time. I think it's the defence, really, in all honesty. Going forward, I think we will score goals, we will create, but I think Man City have got a similar problem here.
I think Klopp's great. I think he's a breath of fresh air for not just for Liverpool, for the Premier League.
Small thing. Everyone's microphone falls off now and again.
I just blew that off.
What you can't see is under the table, Dom's just pulled his microphone off.
That's right, there we go.
Gloves are off here.
Yeah.
You're making your point that...
No, I think he's been a breath of fresh air, but I do think he's got let off lightly, especially recently. I mean, I look at the stick Guardiola got the middle part of the season.
He as well. I mean, first season he's again been on the back pages.
You know, and I look at stick that Mourinho's got at times this year as well. And I think Klopp, because of his personality as well, has got let off a little bit lightly with it, because. I mean, I'll ask you a question here, slightly gone off piste, obviously just been skiing and that, so I know what. Talking about winning cups, were you surprised the team he put out against Wolves?
I didn't think there'd be many changes, So
I thought it was a huge opportunity.
I thought it was a lot of changes for a game.
I thought it was a huge opportunity.
I thought it was a lot of changes, but you know, he still should have had enough to beat Wolves. And Wolves are struggling in the Championship, so it should have still been enough for a Liverpool Football Club to put any team out against Wolves at Anfield. They should be beating them.
Yeah. So. I was gobsmacked when I seen the team, because Pep's went strong in the FA Cup. Chelsea have all the well. You look
I think probably when you realise you can't win the league, you probably think,
now.
well, the FA Cup's your next route to success. So, but yeah, I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about Julio, go and win a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he did, wasn't it? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
And early.
I think that's what Pep's doing this year.
Yeah.
I really do. Even if you go back to the third round, the team he put out against West Ham, Crystal Palace, all the big hitters played, and I think he's thought, you know what, it's going to be difficult to catch Chelsea.
Is cup enough?
I think first season, I think if you get a bit of silverware and you finish top 4 Champions League, already in the quarter, well, good chance of getting into the quarterfinals of the Champions League as well. I think it would be, yeah.
So, Etihad, Sunday. What are we thinking? I know.
I've done my prediction. I know what I'm thinking. I fancy Liverpool to go there and get a result. I really do. I know what Paul said, and I take it all on board. I just think we're going to cause you a lot of problems, and our record's proven against the top 6, and I think we'll do it again on Sunday.
No strikers?
3-1 Man City, simple.
3-1 Liverpool.
Look, Liverpool's defence come up a Leicester team that hadn't scored a goal all year a couple of weeks ago and lost 3 goals.
Yeah, but we've got a different back 4 now. There's a couple of changes in there.
Is there?
Yeah.
I just think City, Sané and Sterling for me, wide areas will absolutely destroy them.
So you're going 3-1?
3-1 City.
3-1 Liverpool.
There you go. The boots are off. You can check out all the latest odds at betsafe.com. And remember, what have you got to be?
In it to win it.
Got to be in it to win it.